So, welcome, folks, to another section of my live coding for SharpPulsar 2.0. So, today I'm going to continue from where we left off yesterday. So, something came to my mind this morning while I was watching my live stream yesterday. So, I've already set out my plan for today. Something came to my mind while I was watching my live stream. So I think today I'm going to investigate what actually happens when we commit the transaction. Because the reason I want to go into this is because looking at our log, I can see that the consumer actually read the message, but our client or the client, the front end, the user code was not able to read the message. So two things. In the background, the consumer was able to read the messages looking at our log. But it's through an error of non-reference at the client side. That means the client didn't read the message. Either the time was too small or the messages were deleted from the queue. So what I want to investigate first and foremost in this session is to actually try to kind of narrow it down to know if at the point of committing a transaction, the queue is actually deleted. The messages in the queue is deleted. So that's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do. Then after that, we continue from where we left off yesterday. We have to look at the recent messages, how to update our code so that we can actually solve or can actually overcome the current block we are experiencing, and also look at the other one. And I think it's about three of them. Look at So I was actually thinking about the context of close. So I was thinking about that this morning. Felt like if the context or the connection channel closes connection, how does the official Java client handle such? So I think that gave me a little bit of insight on what to do to actually solve that problem. So we look into that. So as usual, first of all, the first thing I need to do is to launch my Docker. So I hope that today all things will be equal. The network will be stable. That's my hope and prayer. I enjoyed yesterday. The network was stable all through my streaming, and I hope for the same today, so that there won't be any form of breakage while streaming this session. So that's my hope for today, that the network. I've actually sent a message to my ISP to actually tell them all I need is just a stable network. If one thing, if the network is stable, then it's good. But the network fluctuating as low as 0, it's not ideal. So this is where we are. So let me delete this. Let's start afresh. Of course, we know what we do next after we delete that. Hope I've not deleted hope I've not deleted Oh my, I've deleted the code that I pasted here. Uh, what I'll do is this. Let me see what I'll do. Okay. I should probably change it here so that in case I delete it next time. No function worker. See, I'm going to delete. I don't need all this. I need my code to be cleaner and more easy for me to understand. So I'm going to delete this creation of partition topic. I don't need them. Well, let me leave it. I don't want to create any break. Looking for something. Okay. We are saying we don't want no function. Okay. So there's another thing we need to deal with. But let's see how it goes. If there's an error, we'll fix that. Let's see how it goes. Okay. So what I'm actually trying to investigate is let me go to the test. So what prompted my thought was from the log. I was able to see that the consumer was actually reading the message in the background, but here it's true non-reference exemption, but we had a delay of about 10 seconds, so that should be sufficient for it to actually read the messages. So what I want to know now is when we commit, what happens? So I want to narrow it down. So let's go. So when we commit, we send a message to the transaction actor. Look for commit. Okay. So the transaction actually sends message to the transaction coordinator client. So let's look at commit ID. So when that happens, it sends the message to the handler. handler. So the handler gets the commit message, then sends the message to the client, which also sends a response back to the handler. So got transaction timer, blah blah blah, got coordinate successful request. So okay, now okay, send the end transaction response to the client to the transaction actor directly. So this is it here. So why are we not reading? I don't see anything that has to do with. I don't see anything that has to do with clearing the lag. So what we are going to do now is, first of all, let me review this. Okay. But first of all, let's go to the Apache Pulsar itself. Let's find the transaction. Transaction. So I think I'm more particular about this line. It says that committing produce message is materializing the messages and making them visible to the consumer. The committing action can happen multiple times due to failures such as after recovery, network disconnection. The transactional buffer information has to ensure the committing process does not duplicate. Process no duplicate will be introduced. Now, the question I am asking is if it's after the after the commit, materialize means message becomes visible to the consumer. It means that the message becomes available to be consumed by the consumer. That's what materializing means. So, and make them visible to the consumer and shown blah blah blah. But the question now is you're actually reading the message. You're actually reading the message even before committing the message. So let me see that. Let me move on from here. I'm going to investigate that. So what that means is, in our own context, is that let me see if probably I'm doing something weird. Let me see. Topic. So what I'm going to do is this. If we are producing with the transaction, this should be null. Okay, I'm going to enable this. Cannot receive transaction message before commit. So let's prove if we are able to, if this actually throws a null, if it's actually a null, it means it works. But if it is not, it means something is wrong somewhere. I will need to find out what it is. So let's I'm going to move on. I'm going to so first of all, I think the thing I need to do now is clear my old bin. Let me see. Clear this one as well. So let's go and review our solutions, our project rather. So we're having an error. Okay, I think we need to do this first. Okay, this will allow us to do it. So let's do it this way. If corrupted, let's do this here. If not corrupted, that is true. Okay, let's do this. So let's make it false. Else, we won't be able to do this. Comment that out. Let's look for another. Comment this out. We'll come back to that later. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So let's rock and roll. Let me do this alone. Let me do this alone. Please don't crash, please. It's too early for this. It's too early for this Visual Studio, please. I don't know why it's once that happens, it always crashes. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hope the Visual Studio team, any of them will get to see it so that they will know if it's actually a bug or something. But my system has a good configuration. Can be RAM. Well, maybe when the Visual Studio 64-bit support comes up, this kind of issues will stop to exist. But right now, 32 bits can only use maximum of almost 4 gig of RAM. But I have 32 gig of RAM on my system. So let's move on from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to connection. Let me look for all the, these are all parts, so let me not add to it. I won't need this anymore, except if there are issues that I don't understand. So let me do this alone. Let me do this. I probably might need but I might need that, so let me leave that alone. So let's move on from there. So now, expected null. So this is what I was talking about. So why are we consuming a message when you've not actually committed the message? That is an interesting thing. Could it be that we are not producing message with transaction? That could be one possibility. So I thought of this morning while I was watching yesterday's stream. This shouldn't be, because we've not committed the messages. So we shouldn't consume the message. The question now is, while we are producing the message, are we using transaction, which that is this new message with transaction? We verify that. So we're going to stop this now. I'm going to dig into this. Let me see. So I'm going to make it 10 because I don't want to spend a lot of time. I'm going to reduce it to 10. So I come down. So let me okay. So I'm actually looking at something on my other screen, other monitor rather. So what we want to investigate is that when we are using transaction, until we commit the transaction, the producer shouldn't, the consumer shouldn't be able to see any message. So, and when this happens, it means my code or SharpPulsar is failing somewhere, and that could be on the producing side. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to track down the message. When we produce message, I'm going to track it down to know this can be an issue of using old messages, since for every test run, we create a new topic. So this can be an issue of old topic messages and old topic and all that. So since we are dealing with new topic, that is new ledger, new logs, new entry, audit every time we run the test. So what I will need to do now is, if you actually receive a message when using transaction, could it be that we are not actually producing the message with a transaction? So that's what I'm going to investigate now. So trying to investigate this, where I'm going to let me zoom in. So at the point of new message, I'm going to track the message down, all the way down, to actually know. So um, let's take a right. Let's go. Okay. So now, this is what I'll do. I'll go to the new message. And I also go to the send here. It's important that I put this here. I go to the type message builder as well. Probably something I've changed there. So let's move on from there. Okay, so we are setting the transaction. So the transaction, oh my god, please don't crash this thing. I'm begging you, don't. So transaction, let's see. Transaction, okay. Before send, let's see what happens here. Let's go back to here. Before send. Okay. So I need to leave this place. I don't want to waste system. Before send, we are having. Okay, let me do this way. Sequence ID. Okay, probably because. Okay. Okay, so let's move away from here. So there's something else I need to. We're actually hitting this. Sorry about this. We're not actually hitting implementation. Okay. Send the sync. So what was I hitting? Sorry, transaction. Okay, so I'm going to know now if we are doing something wrong. So I don't need this anymore. So I neither do I need this. This actually okay with that transaction, okay. I don't need this anymore. I don't want to waste any more time here. Please. Thank you. Okay. So now we are going to see Okay, we're going to see if transaction is null. Let's see something. Okay, now we're going to look at the producer send with transaction. So we're going to wait. So we are going to leave this place. Let's not waste time here. So let's not waste time anymore. Let's not waste time here. So we are hitting this place. Producer transaction. So let's come here. Let's verify. Transaction is not null. So I think I should know where the problem is. Let's go to the transaction actor itself. So let's go to transaction actor itself. Let's find register topic properties. I'll publish to. So the question now is, when is this happening? Let's go. Let's check this. I'm going to look at two things now. So we are here. Send. The question should be, transaction at so I think what the issue could be is so let me go to the let me go to let me stop this. Send me introduction. So Let me see. I have to go to the producer. Open this. Already open. Let me go to the producer. Send it. Okay. So I think the problem we are having is that the first message that is actually being sent without a transaction. So what we need to do is wait. That's what this line is actually saying. Let me zoom in. So what this line actually saying is that you need to first of all register produce topic, and once that is done, you then can send the message. So my guess is probably the first message you are sending actually sending it faster, or is actually being the message is actually sent faster than when we register the produce topic. So what we are going to do now is we're going to find a way to actually wait for the transaction actor to register the topic, get the message from the what I call it now, get the message from the transaction coordinator client. So I think that we are going to do now. So probably this is where we are having the mistake. We are going to wait for the topic registration to be done before we go ahead to produce. So let's move on from there. So let's look at, so this is what you need to wait here. Transaction tell. So I change the transaction actor. Transaction send message to add partition to. I want to know if there's actually add partition response. Let me go to the coordinator. On the downside, this I woke up, so I was a bit on the downside. So let me see. So what I'm going to do now is let's try to wait. I want to see if the Apache Pulsar server actually sends a response back once it added the publish partition to transaction. But I think that will solve the problem we are having. So let's see what happens when. Okay, let's move on. So let's move on from there. So what we need to do now is let's get to our transaction coordinator client. So what we're looking at is this. I want to actually find out if handler. Okay, let's go to the handler. So let's see. Okay, so there's actually a response from the server when we register. So let's see if this is actually in our log. Because if it's in our log, that means we've been actually getting a response from the server. That means we need to handle it and propagate the response all the way up. So let me look for thing. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is just the beginning. There are more live coding to come. What I'm doing right now is actually updating SharpPulsar, which is a Apache Pulsar client built on Akka.net. So after I'm done with this, I also do a lot of demos with Apache Pulsar, Akka.net, with other technologies that I feel I'm passionate about. So please subscribe and leave a comment. Or give me feedback. It will help me a lot. So thank you very much. So I want to look at the log. I want to actually see if we're actually handling the why are we not handling it? Get response. Why are we not handling this? Okay, probably that's not what we need to handle. Okay, add partition to that is timeout. Okay, so we are handling that. Now, like I said, one of the reasons why I'm actually getting this is by implementation, we are not supposed to consume the transactional messages before it's being committed. But I'm seeing that we are consuming the transactional message before it's being committed. So there is one possibility that we are not registering the topic, the transaction. So that what happened. That is the first message. You always miss the first message. So what I'm trying to do now is find a way to actually wait for the transaction registration to happen at the server side, get the response, then push it all the way up so we can continue to send our message using the transaction ID that we got from the server. So now I can see that we are able to get this. But now you need to find a way to propagate this to the client, to the handler, the connection handler. So what I'm going to do, let me see. Okay, well, let's do this way. There's a way I bypassed this. Let me see, add transaction. I think it has to do with. Let me see. Handling it, okay. Okay, sender response. But in this case, what we need here is okay. So what we could do, another thing we could do again, like we did for since it's the producer